Okay, so I want to go over really quickly how to send follow-up emails and text messages with Vizli. So one thing I would suggest is going to your order history in your back office and maybe selecting a date. So let's say a very recent date, which would be November, let's do this week. So Sunday through current, and we want customers retrieve their information and go ahead and download this as an Excel. So obviously I could copy and paste very easily, but let's say you're submitting a party and you have a bunch of contacts, but let's say you submitted a party and you have a bunch of contacts that you don't want to you don't want to copy paste, type individually. You don't have to. So we've downloaded these few customers that have ordered, and then we're going into Google Sheets, and I'm going to import that upload that I just saved and import the data. Okay, so it has their first and second name. I do want to split this up into two separate cells. So what I'm going to do is highlight two cells, insert two to the left. Over here, I'm going to write equals, split, parentheses, click on the cell before, comma, space, quote, end parentheses. And it's going to split their names. So that's their last name and that's their first name. And then we have their phone number. We don't need their address. We only need their email. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these columns and delete the sales. And then we are just left with what we want. So I'm going to call this sample follow-up. And then we're going to download this to our device, and we want to do a CSV file. So once that's done, then we're going to go into Vizli and we're going to put these people in there. So to begin with, this is, see the envelope up here, this is a follow-up email campaign. You send an email, 4 days later it's coming, 15 days later you're checking in, and 50 days later you're just making sure they know of the refund policy. So this is an option you can do for emailing, or if you want to do text campaigns, and I would suggest doing both. I use Duplicate. Duplicate is a place where you just create one campaign. Actually, I can show you real quick. This is a little bit more expensive, so it depends what you are looking for. But here is my Duplicate back office. This is where I create my websites. This is where I create my funnels. This is where I do all the magic. But let's go to automation and campaigns. So I've got my customer campaigns. Thanks for your order. In here, it does an email, then a text, then an email, and then there's another text. So there's all of these different ways of communication that all goes out scheduled as I want it to go. So I do prefer this just because it's a little simpler for me, but that doesn't have to be the case. A lot of you are already using Vizli, so it's easy to go ahead and do this. So let's go up to text conversation, and this will show you how to do a text follow-up in a template that you've already created. So in here, I have some people that I've done. This is where I do my host coaching, but I'm going to import the contacts. Notice it says CSV. We're going to upload that file we just created, the sample follow-up. First name is going to match to the first name. Last name is going to match to the last name, and cell phone will be the phone. And this will be a customer. And reactivate contacts found in CSV file. Yes, you want to do that. Let's go ahead and import and close. So once you have those people in there, you can then add them to that template. So let's just grab somebody, and we're going to start our follow-up text messages with this person. So the difference between a campaign and a conversation, a campaign is auto-scheduled, and when they respond, it doesn't do anything. That's why you want to do it as a conversation when you're doing follow-ups. So that's why we're in conversation. And I'm going to use a template within this conversation, and it's going to be thanks for your order. No, thank you for your order. Okay, start time. I want it to start going right now. I want all of the messages to go. So I'm going to load that template in, and it will show you first she gets the initial thanks. 15 days later, she gets the, did you get your order? 31st, she gets the exchange period, and then I would just turn it on and those text messages would go out accordingly. Now, if you wanted to do email follow-ups, then you go ahead and You can do a new campaign, or I'm going to go ahead and use the test one just to show you, but you do your new campaign, you would add your recipients. This one you do have to do one by one. But if you're using something like duplicate, you would just add them all in. When you do contacts, you add one person, all of their info, and then the texts and messages and everything you want goes out together. But this is a little bit different. So you'd add your recipients in. You would use a template. You would choose the thank you for your order, and all of the emails would go out starting today. Again, the time between each one would vary on the template that you created. So over here, we've got our templates. You've got your texting and your email. I think Vizli works best for texting rather than email, but just know that you can use both. So if we do texting, you can create any new template within here. And if you want my code, I can share it with you. You're going to have to alter it a little bit, but thank you for your order. This one is very basic. And so I can give you the code right here. But again, you're going to have to edit a little bit, but that's very easy to plug in and go. Vizli will send you an email whenever somebody responds to a text. So at least if you get emails on your phone, you'll get a notification that somebody has responded to you, and just to go into Vizli really quickly and respond. So hopefully that helps. There's a lot of pros and cons to all kinds of platforms. Project Broadcast is pretty good, but it can't let you use shortened links. So if you have a bit.ly link or anything like that, it kicks them out. It does not like it. Vizli has no problem with that. So there is the benefit there. And you just choose what's best for you and your budget and how you're going to work your things.